going on, guys? Flashback boy here, and we're back again. We're past halfway. We're on episode 13 of Vinland Saga. This was a deep dive. This episode was a deep dive into the past of Askeladd, which I didn't mind because you really despise Askeladd because he killed Thors, but now you're like starting to understand him more. And it's really interesting. So we're definitely going to be taking a step into Askeladd's life real quick. And with all that being said, guys, we're going to go ahead and end the opening, and I'll see you guys on the other side. But we start the episode off with a kid, getting off a boat and walking some woman on his back to the shore. I instantly thought it was Askeladd because they put a zoom in on his eyes, and I was like, that's Askeladd as a kid. We're definitely going to be deep diving today. So not filler, but definitely a deep dive. And so he's like, my mother's going to die, so I need to bring her to where she's from. That's all he said. And then we cut to this scene where it's like the Danes are fighting, I guess the English, and Floki's talking to the king, and was basically like the English are falling, they're getting weak, and the king's not even worried about what he's saying. He's like, look, I want to hear about my son, and his fight with Thorkell. I haven't heard anything, so go find out what's going on. I need to know something. After that, we cut to back where Askeladd and his men are being ambushed by this Welsh group from Wales. And basically, they're like, we don't want nothing to do with no Danes. Like, man, y'all take y'all Danish stuff and go on back that way. So Askeladd's trying to, bargain with the man, but then he's like, all right, Prince will speak on it. Like, come on, Prince, say something. Prince don't say nothing. He's just like, what I'm saying? He's just soft. He's weak. And, it's just sad. I mean, I was embarrassed. I was like, oh my gosh. So Askeladd, he apologizes, and him and the commander go up to the guy from Wales, and they're talking about how they need to get passage through. And the guy's like, no, we're going to use the prince as a bargaining chip to get the power over the king. So we're not worried about what y'all got going on. Askeladd tells him, look, I'm half Danish, I'm half Wales, so that's why I can speak your native tongue. My dad or granddad was this great man, and then the guy's like, oh, what? What I'm saying? So he's a big deal. His granddad was a big deal, or dad. I didn't really get that information, but he's a descendant of higher up blood. He's just the leader of this group of Danes. So we find out that Askeladd doesn't even like the Danes. He's like, I despise the Danes. I'd rather be the inside man for Wales. So yeah, being the inside man, when the prince becomes king, he has a higher up position so that he can, have more power, and he'll be the inside guy for Wales and Denmark. So the guy laughs at him, and he's like, all right, I'll let y'all pass, but I'm taking your men's weapons, and until you get to the checkpoint of the border, and then I'll give him back to you. So the guys are not happy about that, and they're marching in the snow. And then Thorfinn's talking to the prince, and he's like, look, man, you're a wimp, and if we're the same age, you're just soft. And the prince he kept calling him princess. The prince was like, don't you ever talk to me like that. He did not like that at all. He was not happy. So I mean Ragnar tries to speak up for him, but it's just kind of, dude, you didn't speak up when you needed to. So he's like, I can't do anything without my dad. And I'm like, dude, weak. The men seem to be kind of losing faith in Askeladd right now because they're just in the dark. They don't know what's going on, and they want to know what's going on. But we end the episode there, and it was just basically explaining that Askeladd has a lot more layers to him. He's Welsh, he's Danish, he wants to be the inside man, he's got all these secret plans that he's trying to go in and out with. So it's going to be interesting how this all plans out, and we'll look forward to episode 14. But yeah, be sure to hit that like button, guys. It always helps out the channel. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload. And yeah, guys, with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.